my friends, this is Paul, and welcome to A Come Touch of Fantasy, and this is my wrap-up for May and what I have planned for June. So the first book I read in May was the audiobook The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu, and I only gave this a 2. I did not finish it. As an audiobook, The Grace of Kings just does not work for me. It was too historical, it was too complicated, too many characters, and I made a mistake by trying to listen to the audiobook. I didn't really care for it at all. I thought it read like a history book, and the characters were not very described. It was a very plot-centered book, and usually plot-centered books for me aren't really something I really love a lot, so I just didn't care for it, and actually did not finish it. So I might revisit it in the future on physical format and see if it's better. Once the other books are released, I want to see kind of how those are taken and if people like them or not. The first physical book I finished was Inda by Sherwood Smith. I created a journey video for this. Go check that out and see how much I liked it. I enjoyed this quite a bit. I give it a 4 out of 5. The world was amazing, and the characters were very fleshed out, and I really enjoyed the younger cast of characters and also the war school. I thought that was a lot of fun. The reason why I only give it a 4 though is that I think it could get better, and also the writing style was a little bit off, but I believe that the next books will be better. I then finished the audiobook A Natural History of Dragons by Marie Brennan. This was a great audiobook, easy listen, a lot of fun. I only gave it a 3 out of 5 though. There wasn't a lot of depth to it. The plot was very predictable. The plot wasn't that amazing. The characters were good. It was just a lighthearted listen. After I listened to The Grace of Kings, I wanted something a little bit light, something easy. So I went with A Natural History of Dragons, and I enjoyed it. Once again, for all these, look below. There will be a review below or a journey video. So check those out if you want. I then read a graphic novel. I'm not a huge graphic novel person, and I keep some graphic novels on my shelf. Maybe I'm depressed for that day or something happened that kind of has me down. And so I had one of those days this last month. And so I read Volume 4 of Neil Gaiman's The Sandman. And this one is Season of Mist. This was great. I gave it a 4 out of 5. This has to do with Lucifer leaving hell, and then all these other beings wanting to take up residence in hell. And Dream, one of the elders, he had to try to figure out who gets hell out of all these different beings. And I really enjoyed it. I really liked this series when the entire graphic novel, all the volumes are one story. When it jumps from story to story, I don't really care for it as much, but when it's all one story and it goes from volume to volume and it's the same plot, I really enjoy it. And then I finished Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson. I gave this a 3 out of 5. I did a journey video for this, so that's linked below. The world in the Mistborn trilogy and the magic system is great, but the magic system and the great action in this book couldn't make up for the fact that the plot was much weaker than the first one, and the characterization was non-existent and frankly boring. Vin and Ellen are just not my favorite characters. I like the side characters in this trilogy, and I wanted the side characters to get more page time, but Sanderson chose to devote so much page time to Vin and Ellen's relationship, and I'm just not interested in that whatsoever. And so I only gave it a 3 out of 5. I'm hoping that Hero of Ages will be the home run that I think I know it's going to be. And then I read Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. This is a reread for me. Last time I read this though, I was a teenager, so it's been quite a while since I've read this, and it's even better now on the reread. I give it a 5 out of 5. My original score was a 4 out of 5. I bumped it up to a 5 and 5 because I realized how much Fitz and me connect, how much of our personality traits are very similar. He reminds me so much of myself. His decision making, his growth as a character kind of reminds me of my growth as a teenager. So that's why I like these books so much. And then I listened to The Graveyard Book on audio by Neil Gaiman, and he did the narration, and him doing the narration made the book tremendous. I really enjoyed it. Characters were great. I really enjoyed the world that Gaiman creates. He's one of the most imaginative and surprising authors out there. He always gives me something that I've never seen in any other book. And his books are never what I expect. They're always something new, something fresh. That's why I enjoy Gaiman's books. I do like his more child and younger audience works than his adult works. I really enjoyed this one, though. I give it a 5 out of 5. And of course, I read some short stories this month. My favorite short stories this month was Covenant by Elizabeth Bear, Meeker and the All-Seeing Eye by Matthew Klesler, and Weather by Alistair Reynolds. I gave all 3 of these short stories a 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed them quite a bit. Alright, so what do I have planned for June? Right now, the books that I'm reading are Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. About 13 chapters into this. I'm enjoying this quite a bit. Very character-based fantasy book. There is not a lot of fantasy elements in this because it's so character-based. A lot of conversations, a lot of long conversations with long paragraphs, but I'm really enjoying the family dynamics that are in this book. On audiobook, I'm listening to The Lesser Dead. This is a horror book. I don't read a lot of horror books. I read maybe 2 or 3 a year, but I was in the mood for a horror book on audiobook, so I got The Lesser Dead by Christopher Buehlman. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. It's a story about vampires, but it's traditional vampires that actually go out and suck the blood of people. They do try not to kill many people. They just kind of go and feed on them. It's great. There's a lot of mythos involved. There's like a cabal of vampires, like a group of them. But now they are threatened by a new breed of vampire. And this is all set in the 1970s, late 1970s in New York City. So it's a lot of fun and it's hilarious. The main character is really snarky. He's really insolent. He just makes a lot of jokes and stuff. And it's just a lot of fun to listen to. I'm doing my Dune in June read-along, channel read-along. I'll put the link below to the video. I'm starting this today. And then Friday I'll be making a video for people to reply on. That's how I'm going to do my read-along. I'm going to have individual videos based off of sections in the books, and then people will then reply to those videos for those individual sections. I'm also going to be reading The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson, finish up the Mistborn trilogy. I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this one being much better than The Wheel of Ascension. Then I want to get back to my Malazan reading. My one goal for this entire year, when I made my goals in January, was to read the entire Malazan series. And I'm kind of behind, so I'm picking it back up on the 4th book, House of Chains, Stephen Erickson. So personally, I'm going to be trying to push myself a little bit more in June. I want to read at least 100 pages a day, which would take me about 2.5 to 3 hours to do. I do read slow, so it takes me a while. And that's actual physical books. I want to be able to read more in June and for now on. I've been spending too much time on Twitter. As much as I love the community aspect, I think people won't miss me if I'm not on those things as much as I am now. I can still have the friendships I have, but also spend more time actually reading. Sometimes with my personality, I can focus on one thing too much and then totally neglect something else. So I feel like I'm neglecting reading more, and I'm putting too much energy into like the community and meeting people aspect of it, and I have to realize that I'm here to read books and also meet people, but right now I'm putting forth too much energy in the community. I feel like I'm putting out more energy than the reward that I'm getting back from it, so I just need to read more and not worry about the social aspect of BookTube as much. So that's my plans for June, and that's what I read in May. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching.